Nah, that's what I've been saying, man. What's crazy is people hate themselves so much that even if you build something for them, they'll destroy it. They'll say, no, I can't accept what you built for me because you look like me. That's the reason why I'm going to talk about it. Hey, okay, I'm ready when you're ready, man.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
What's going on? This is the Actual Facts Podcast. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I got to give a gigantic salute to Brother Malik. I want to talk about Kwanzaa. I want to talk about the cultural gap. And I want to talk about why the people who are labeled black ignore something that was made specifically for them. Telling you, man, it's a major disconnect in culture and identity. You feel what I'm saying? Look, man, this is brown chair conversations, right? And I gotta ask you something. Why is it that a holiday that was created specifically for the people who were labeled black by a person who was also labeled black to celebrate their value feels like the loneliest celebration of the year? Now, what's crazy is I see people labeled black. They are so quick to put on Santa Claus hats. They put up Christmas lights. They stay up till midnight on New Year's Eve. But I'm telling you this, man, when December 26th hits, crickets. You feel what I'm saying? So what I want to do in this episode, I want to have a difficult conversation. That's what I want to do. I want to have a very, very difficult conversation, because the question is, why do so many people, especially who are labeled black, ignore Kwanzaa, a holiday that was built for their healing? We got to talk about that right now. Look, man, this is Brown Chair Conversations. This is a space of perspectives, right? And a lot of the perspectives that I'm going to talk about, they get left out of the headlines. I don't have no distractions. I'm just delivering honest conversation. Now, Kwanzaa was created in 1966 by a man. His name is Dr. Maulana Karenga. He was a professor of African studies, right? And he lived and he basically thrived in the heart of what was considered the Black Power movement. And he had a goal. His goal was to give Black Americans a cultural rooted holiday that didn't rely on religious traditions or any type of Western consumerism. It had 7 days to it, right? 7, a powerful number. And it went from December 26th to January 1st of the next year, right? And then each day represents one of what he said, the Naguzaba. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's 7 principles, and I'm going to give you those principles. They have Umoja, right? And Umoja basically means unity. And then you got Kujichagulia, that's self-determination. We need self-determination. You got Ujima, and that's collective work and responsibility. You got Ujama, which is cooperative economics. And then you have Nia, purpose. You got Kumba, which is creativity. And then you got Imani, which means faith. Now, this holiday is not a religious holiday. You got what I'm saying? Now, with Christmas, that's a religious holiday, right? In this, with the holiday of Kwanzaa, you're not giving gifts. You don't have to give gifts. You got what I'm saying? It's just a week of reflection. It's a week of empowerment. It's a week of traditions that are rooted in African value. So peep this. I just did my best to try to explain what Kwanzaa is. So my question though is, why don't we show up for it? We don't show up for it. You got to understand the psychology of the rejection. And that takes a bit of truth. You got to admit something that really hurts. You hate yourself. You have been taught to systematically hate yourself. You have been taught to mistrust anything that feels too black, something that's labeled black. You hate it. You hate yourself. You were labeled black for a specific reason. You can look at my skin. My skin is not black, but I'm labeled black. Let's talk the facts. You've been told for hundreds of years that anything African is savage. That's what you've been told. Your names are savage. You've been told that their traditions are weird. You've been told and taught that you need to bleach your skin. You need to tame your hair. You need to improve everything about you. You've been told this and taught this all throughout the year. So when this Kwanzaa holiday shows up, and if you don't know, that's a Swahili name. And you know, if you don't know some of the elements, you got African clothes, you got candles. Look, when you see all of that, you like, man, I ain't about to do none of that bullshit. You instinctively tune out in your mind. Not because it's wrong. You have just been conditioned to hate your own blackness. You are uncomfortable with anything that is labeled black. If it's labeled black in your mind, you hate it because you hate yourself. You don't understand generational trauma. The hate that you have for your own people didn't even start with you. But guess what? It can end with you. But you're going to have to realize that you hate yourself. And until you realize you hate yourself, you will never be able to understand the game that's being played on you. What's the game? The game is consumerism versus community. Your community is hated so much that you have been programmed to be a consumer. Let's keep it a buck. Christmas is a marketing monster. Billions of dollars spent. Stores open early. These ads, they be hitting around Halloween, October time frame, and Christmas is all over the season. Do you ever see any Kwanzaa commercials? No commercials, huh? You ain't never seen no corporate sponsors for Kwanzaa? Do you ever see a 50% off sale? Look, man, the reason why is because Kwanzaa is not about buying things. It's about building. That other thing is about being a consumer. This Kwanzaa thing is about building. It's about building character. It's about building values. It's about building your own community. But listen, you have been submerged and subjected and brainwashed in a culture that has completely trained you to consume and not create. They've basically trained you to destroy and not build. And that's the reason why if somebody say Kwanzaa, you may not even know what Kwanzaa is. But if somebody say something about it and you do know what it is, oh, you're real slow. You don't want to, you got to be quiet. You can't be too reflective on it. You have traded your spiritual nourishment for seasonal fast food, and it's costing you a lot more than money. You don't even know your own image. You don't even know your own identity. You hate yourself. Kwanzaa is a tough sell. It doesn't have a lot of mass media appeal. There ain't no blockbuster movie about Kwanzaa. You don't have no viral moments about Kwanzaa, like the Kwanzaa challenge. You don't have nothing. Mariah Carey ain't singing about all I want for Kwanzaa is you. You are raised in a generation of entertainment. We are a generation right now being raised on visibility, on likes, on reels. And Kwanzaa look old. It looked like woke culture. You got what I'm saying? You know how they say woke culture? Oh, you're trying to be woke. Oh, that's deep. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you this. The truth is painful. Kwanzaa isn't a holiday to entertain you. Right now, you are living in a sea of confusion, especially if you are a part of people who are labeled black. You are living in a sea of confusion. Kwanzaa is your anchor in this sea of confusion. It's to remind you that your people have principles. Your people have a culture, and that culture is deep. It has depth to it. Your blackness is not a struggle. Your blackness is a structure. It's the cornerstone of who you are. Now, I still got to be honest. I look at Dr. Milana Karinga, and I see the attempt of trying to change history. Trying to change history. Trying to get you as black people to rediscover who you are. And what you are doing is you are spitting in the face of someone who did everything, dedicated a life to assist your culture. Do you think these people are going to cancel Christmas because of Constantine? Do your Googles or do your research on the connection between Christmas and Constantine. But listen, you need to wake up. You gotta wake up. I want you to think about something. Do you understand that in Ephesians, the Bible told the slaves to obey the slave master as if he were the Lord. That's in Ephesians. Google it if you need to. Do you cancel the Bible because of the misuse of that scripture to support and justify enslavement? Do you do that? I'm just wondering. Listen. Kwanzaa is bigger than the founder. It's a space where it's giving you time to reclaim your identity. The reason why that has to be done is because you are living in a world that did everything to ensure that you were invisible. So what in the hell are you gonna do? Are you gonna continue to ignore this holiday because the world ignores it? You know, I once read a person say that I was in the world, yet the world knew me not. Are you going to allow Kwanzaa to be in the world, but then you still have no connection to this holiday and just ignore it? What in the world are you going to do? Light a candle every year and just reflect on one principle of Kwanzaa. Share a meal. Teach the youth. You know, I once heard that when you operate in life and you move in life, that you have to have a mentality of each one teach one. So teach what you learned. Pass it forward. That's how you build the future. By using what you've learned in the past to help a person in the present so that they can build a better future. Sometimes I'm afraid that as you look for validation from others, you will damage your future. Kwanzaa is not a trend. It's not trendy. It's a tool. It's a tool that you use to teach unity, to build economics, to solemnly affirm your identity, to practice cultural love in a season that is all about consumer behavior. You don't come from an empty culture. That's why you're so hated. Kwanzaa is a gift to humanity. It's not wrapped in gold. You know what I'm saying? It don't come with a lot of laces. And it's not wrapped and packaged in shiny, glittery packages. But I'm going to tell you this. If you keep ignoring Kwanzaa, you're going to lose that holiday. And if you lose that holiday, you're going to lose a piece of who you are as an individual who laid the foundations of the culture in America. If you're a Christian, if you're Muslim, whatever you are, whatever you identify as, if you're a traditional African religion, whatever you identify as. If you live in America, if you live globally, if you look like me, you don't have to choose between your religion and Kwanzaa. You don't have to skip one holiday, because it's pushing you to. No, man. Use Kwanzaa to heal your mind, to ground you, to empower you. I often promote, push, and advocate for revolution. A lot of times, people think that a revolution means that you have to protest. Look, revolution is a principle that is lit by a single flame. And it's up to you to change. This is Brown Chair Conversation. What I hope is that you live a life that sticks to the facts. Create a standard and live by that standard. Never have fear. Never fold. You create that standard and you never compromise your principles.